Hello, everyone, and welcome back to Crypto News with Julie Kennis. I'm your host, Julie Kennis. I was busy admiring Randy's photo, and then I looked up and I'm like, oh, I need to go live. Oh my gosh, you guys. I saw it on Instagram. On Instagram, there's two photos, but I brought it up on X because look at how phenomenal she looks. You guys, she was on Fox Business yesterday. If you guys caught her, let me know in the comments. I did not get a chance to catch her on Fox Business, but she was on for a full hour. She looks amazing. This is Randy. This is our little Miss Teen Crypto. Look at her. She looks amazing. I'm like, you know what? I gassed her up over on Instagram and then I went over to X and I'm like, I'm going to gas you up on X too. Because look at her go. I am just so proud of her. In an industry where it is easy to scam or take the easy payday or all of these things, Randy has always been very selective in who she works with. She's been very true to the people that she keeps in her circle. She is a very just genuine soul. And you love to see someone like Randy winning. And so, oh my gosh, I saw this picture of her and I just felt like she looks so grown up, like this dress and her hair and makeup. And she was, oh my gosh, you guys, I heard her on her live stream. She was like, I know you guys are all going to have comments on my hair and makeup and da-da-da. She looks amazing. Like this could be in a catalog. This could be in a catalog. I am just like, wow. Just wow, you guys. Little Miss Teen Crypto. She's off to Asia this weekend. I know. Isn't she just crushing it? Absolutely love and adore our little Randy, Miss Teen Crypto. Go check her out on Instagram, Facebook. Gas her up. You guys, being a content creator is not always easy. So whenever you like or comment or bookmark or all of these things, if you send it in DMs, whatever, all of those actions are something that tells the algorithm that this is good content. So whenever you are interacting with, whether it's me, whether it's her, whether it's anyone, we're just so thankful because that is like what we build everything based off of. And, you know, the algorithm can be unrelentless. It can be unrelentless. And so even though it seems like it's not that much, just that one little like, that one little comment, that one little piece of support. Guys, I almost gave up last year. I wouldn't be here right now. But she called me and she's like, Julie, pull yourself together. We need you. People want to see you quit. And she's right. She's right. When I first started my podcast, it seemed like everyone after that wanted to start a podcast and everyone had podcasts. And you know what? For a while, it felt like I was just up against so much competition. And let me tell you, I'm so happy I didn't give up because ultimately, I forgot to share the comments. Ultimately, a lot of people have given up and they're not live streaming anymore. And the difference between succeeding and not succeeding are just the people that don't give up. You have to just continue. And that was what she said to me. She's like, Julie, do not give up. I know it feels hard. I know it feels tough. And live streaming through the bear market, when it was down only, when it was not the best time to want to live stream. Someone told me they like coming into my live streams because even though the charts would be down, I would still be positive. And so I enjoy being able to be that positive person, even though the charts are down, because now it's feeling a little bullish. It's starting to feel like perhaps we are nearing the end of this bear market. In fact, there is so much positive news. In fact, I will get into the positive news because we have so much of it to talk about. But overall, the sentiment has improved dramatically. And as I thought, I didn't think it was going to follow this to a T market cycle like people thought, because it never does. if it was that predictable, it would be easy for people. And it's not. People are constantly on the wrong side of the trade because they think the bear is longer or they think the bull is longer. And then they find themselves, no, you've had 3 weeks of down only and you missed your exit. You know, so it's just one of those things where now we're starting to have positive momentum in the markets, you guys. Positive things coming out. And I don't want to say positive things necessarily about the Clarity Act, because I kind of feel at this point we're getting clarity whether we want it or not. I'm saying positive in terms of, you know, people were worried about T-bonds becoming due. Hello, welcome into the chat, Skizzy. I see you. If you're over on the vertical, thanks for being here. You're welcome to smash the subscribe. I go live every day at 1 o'clock Pacific time. And yeah, the majority of the people in my chat are over on the vertical. My loyal followers, subscribers. I appreciate having you all here. But yes, they refinanced the bond market. We're just going to kick the can down the road. Interest alone would have paid off what our total economic debt was just a couple decades ago. Not that long ago. So will Bitcoin go to 80K or 60K first? If things continue on this path, which it's looking like, I believe September 15th is going to be our deadline. I want to have a decision by, but I more or less feel like the pressure is coming from the desire to tokenize stocks. And it's less about crypto now and more about, you know, they want to have the surveillance side and they want to be able to tokenize stocks. They want to have the global liquidity available to the US stock market. Why not? It would just enrich our country. And with stable coins, it's a digital US dollar in everyone's pocket around the world. Everyone's digital wallet, I should say. Everyone's digital wallet. Feels like I'm getting quite a bit of traction today. If you guys are tuning in, thanks for being here. I appreciate having you here. We do have a couple of the sponsors on the show for today, one of them being Market Cipher. We'll get into Market Cipher as we get into the Bitcoin price and price action. So look at you, peace of my mind, helping direct traffic. You're wonderful. You are wonderful. So you guys, as always, this show is powered by the Gokhshtein News Network. Shout out to Gokhshtein. Shout out to them for not giving up on me and all of my, what did I talk about? Lumpy booby pads earlier this week. Guys, I'm a girl. I'm a girl. Oh, I will tell you what I'm super proud of since I am a girl. You guys know I got a car this week. I actually so responsibly, went down, got my car smog, got everything all transferred over. I'm like, look at me doing big girl things I hate doing. These are things I hate doing. I do not like the DMV. I do not like taking care of these things. I think maybe that's why I'll keep a car forever, just because I just don't like doing those things. I need a man to take care of all that stuff for me because I'm like, I don't like it. I just want to be able to turn on the car and go. Yeah, it's a very girlish thing. Anyway, you guys, I'm excited about Bitcoin. I hope you guys are excited too, because we have seen some phenomenal price action. The bears have been getting absolutely wrecked. So let's go ahead and dive into the crypto charts. I just realized, guys, I don't have the live stream up so I can see your comments. Let me fix this. And that's not the right one. That's not the right one. Here we go. Why are there only 2 likes, you guys? Smash the like button. I'm over here gassing up people talking about likes. Oh, this and that. What? You guys are snoozing on the job? You guys are snoozing on the job? I told you I was feeling a little feisty today. I told you I was feeling a little... I know you guys can't when I start talking about stuff like loppy boobs and whatnot. I do it. I set it up. I set it up. Thank you, Mama Shadow. She said I hit the like on both streams and you all got us to 7 likes. I like to see it. I'm just teasing you guys, but thank you for playing along. You're phenomenal. And look at this beautiful, beautiful site here. Big green candles. Market Cipher Beeline is just absolutely green. We've got green light therapy. In fact, I should have made the light behind me green today. And I pulled out my little, my McDonald's visor for when the charts are red. And I thought, you know what? I'm not going to need that for a while anymore. I'm not going to need that for a while. I feel like, yeah, if we had to pick a direction, I'm going to go up. But you know me, you guys, I'm always going to be, I won't say I'm a delusional bull, because when the charts are not good, I will straight up tell you charts are not good. Look at stable coins, find ways to mitigate, stop loss, etc. That's not the time. That's not the time. I've been saying for weeks, you want to look at where your entry points are, DCAing. If you feel like you miss bottom, like you guys know how I am with ADA, and we'll get into ADA and ADA's price action. Thank you, John Legend. John Legend said he shared it. He shared it. Okay. So Bitcoin trading at 72,735 at current moment. We're looking at the 15-minute Bitcoin chart, and this is just money flow in the green. We've just printed a green dot. Money flow continues in. So we're just looking nice here. I even came all the way out to a 1-hour chart and a 1-day chart just to take a look at it. 1-day chart actually looks phenomenal. Like, I'm going to pull it up for you guys. If you guys haven't looked at a 1-day in a while, I'm going to pull it up. I'm going to pull it up. Look at that. And then look at this swing on the oscillator. Yeah. I like it, guys. It's feeling bullish. It's giving bull markets. So I'm excited with this. This has got me excited. Look at 72,695. It's going to give us 69 one way or another. You know, and it was a quick 69K this time, and that's all right. Sometimes a quickie is okay. Just a little quick one and it's over. But we're up almost 5% on the daily, which is good because as of yesterday, we also had another amazingly up day. And thus we have seen some of the biggest shorts being stopped out ever, which is phenomenal. So taking a look at Ethereum, ETH is just pulling a freaking runner, guys. We were stuck at 1,800 forever. And look at it, 2,300, up 3% on the daily. All right, where's Jesse? Where's everyone that's going to say ETH is trash now? We're just got to wait for the ETH is trash comments. Yeah, Poman, not buying, currently waiting. You don't want to buy on days when it is just so green. Hopefully people have already entered into their positions, and hopefully you can stick with the conviction of those positions, knowing where we are on the market cycle. You know, obviously you don't want to take profits too soon, but sometimes you have to take profits. Sometimes life throws you a curveball and you have to take profits. And look, when I was in my car accident in January, I'm like, no. The bottom of the bear is not when you want to buy a new car. That was not, none of that was desirable. None of that was desirable. But hey, we manifest. I had one car and then I had no car and now I have 2 cars. So I have a car for me and a car for my daughter. So it all works out, I guess. All right, moving on to Solana, which is up 4%, trading at $87.37. Chainlink has not been as strong today, although it has been a runner in comparison to all of the alts. It's trading at $10.63, so it's kind of sideways right now. But XRP, it was up 23% on the daily, but it has retraced just a little bit, but it is currently trading at $1.23. Looking one of the best plays. I hardly ever go in on like XRP like that, and I was actually sending out a message to be like, wow, XRP is ripping. Never sent that DM in my life. I just refreshed. How long has Julie been talking? I'm not long enough. We're just getting started. We're just getting started. You know what I've learned about our Jessie, our sweet Jessie? If Frankie Candles is live streaming at the same time as me, he's not here. He's at Frankie's. And that's okay. That's okay. Frankie Candles has a lot. He's got a great channel. There's so much to learn from him. We sometimes live stream at the same time. But I will tell you, when I get off of my stream and his starts right after mine, I'm like, oh, thank you. Because I know what happens. If Frankie fires up his live stream, mine's going to die. And I don't blame you. We love Frankie Candles. And he has some of the best trade knowledge, trade setups. He's a goat. He's a goat, so I understand it. And he can talk, boy. He gets on there and he'll pull up charts and he's like, all right, let's do this. Let's do this. All right. Moving on to ADA, because this is the one that got away for me. The one that got away. 14-cent entry. I knew it. I knew it. I had money. I just needed to swap chains. I had money. I just needed to swap chains. And I could have done it. And what did I do? I did nothing. I did nothing. I sat on my hands. It's up 6%, almost 6% today. Hit 20 cents. Had quite the sell-off at 20 cents. If you got in at 14, I mean, this is just a great play. I was shocked to see it down so low. Oh my gosh, you only have eyes for Julie. You don't know who Frankie Candles guy is. Peace of my mind, this is a little surprising given your colorful hearts that you were throwing up in the chat. Would have thought maybe Frankie would have been more on your team, but that's okay. You can prefer me. I'm not going to hold that against you. But no, Frankie's great. Frankie's great. He does not live stream every day, but man, sometimes he goes on, and especially if stuff is ripping, he can talk for like 2 or 3 hours, and I've been in there, and it's good the whole time. So, I mean, it's amazing. There's things to learn from him. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at the top 100 on our crypto bubbles. And it is just a whole lot of green. So nice to see you. Nice to see you. Here comes the daily ADA segment. No, I could have gone a little further on ADA. Earlier, Charles Hoskinson was live streaming with David Gokhshtein. They do every other Thursday. They've been doing a live stream together. And it's like an ongoing thing where I will come in the chat, and I always call Charles Hoskinson my boyfriend. And like I do it, and I can always tell when David has read my comment because he always gets a giant smile on his face. And he's always very intent when he's listening to Charles. And then I'll come in and I'm like, oh my gosh, there's my boyfriend. And he always gets a huge smile on his face. So anyway, today, Charles, I can't even believe I'm saying this. Charles was looking good, you guys. He just got his hair cut. He got his beard trimmed. And I'm like, oh my God, my boyfriend. So that is the true ADA segment for today. That is the true ADA segment for today. Yes. No. I did not restrain myself on ADA. I let it all go. No, I will tell people sometimes that I have Charles Hoskinson's phone number. I don't technically have his phone number. I have his best friend's phone number, which is kind of like having Charles's phone number. Like if I really wanted to get a hold of Charles, I could, but I'm not going to do that. Anyway, he's my friend, you guys. I love Charles. You know, I'm going to continue to gush about Charles because he is one of the developers who has been here the longest, has worked on some of the core infrastructure that all of us operate on. Ethereum, he was there for core Ethereum, and then from Ethereum ended up on Cardano. From Cardano, he started Knight. There is just so much that he has done and built, contributed. People give him such a hard time. They beat him up about ADA price. You know, he shows up, he listens to people in spaces, and he doesn't have to participate like that. There's no other real developer on his level who will show up and make himself available. And I want to talk to you, and let's talk about your idea and how can we help you build this out. And, you know, and let's take a picture together. He's like the most humble, down to earth, funny, educated, awesome person. And so anyway, he gets a hard time. People give him a hard time, but he's one of my favorite people. Anyway, they were talking about Midnight and Midnight City that's coming out. And it's one of those things, you know, I talk about personas here on the channel. Personas is AI. AI is so hard to build out. It takes time, and I can see it with Midnight City that he's really working on it, and there's a lot that he's trying to do, and there's a lot to roll out and build out with it. And he really wants people to love the product, same as Personas. They don't want to half-ass a product and put it to market. And so I respect companies and teams that do that in a responsible way, that deliver. And I can see when David goes on to Midnight City, it's really cool what they've built out, and it'll be really cool when it becomes available. And same as Personas, it's going to be really cool when it becomes available. We're getting there. I'll be chatting with the team some more, and you know, I'll give you guys some updates as it all rolls out. Anyway, Blocky, I saw you have another tornado warning. Stay safe out there. Stay safe out there. Keep that grandbaby safe. So he says, I've never seen so many NATO warnings. Let me tell you, I know you guys are probably getting the clouds that came through here, and it looked like thunderstorm clouds that rolled through here like probably 4 or 5 days ago. We had a cool down, which felt amazing. But yeah, I'm sure by the time it hits back east, it probably gives tornado warnings, because there were some thick looking clouds. Anyway, what else I wanted to talk about was Hype, because Hype was mentioned by Donald Trump and had quite the run. One of these that we will see potentially brought here to the US. So lots going on with Hype, but overall things are just looking good in the market, and hopefully things will continue. Hopefully things will continue. Hello, Jesse. Welcome in. Welcome in. All right, you guys, let's take a quick break from our sponsor over at Personas.
Social media taught us how to post, scroll, and react, but not always how to truly remember. Our most meaningful memories are everywhere, hidden in camera rolls, old messages, voice notes, and forgotten folders. Personas brings those memories together, creating a living memory profile you can keep adding to as life goes on. Photos, voice clips, videos, and personal stories become the foundation of a Personas, built from real memories. The people who know you best can add the moments only they remember. Stories, photos, voice notes, and milestones. With memory requests, nothing is added without approval. Every story is reviewed, accepted, and preserved with care. Personas is different by design, not built for attention, but built for meaning, connection, and legacy. It is not about replacing someone. It is about preserving the voice, wisdom, and love they chose to leave behind. A Personas can grow through every chapter, from childhood to family to future generations, still adding to the story. This is Personas, a new way to share who we are, remember who we love, and keep stories connected. Personas, built for memories, designed for connections.
Yes, Personas Julie has been quiet. Real Julie gets a little feisty, guys. It happens. It happens. I like to get feisty. No, there's something energetically going on right now that's making people a little feisty, I think. My DMs have been extra spicy, and not in a good spicy. I mean, I guess maybe some good spicy, but there's some that are so bad, you guys. Oh my gosh. So I before we get into the breaking news, I will tell you, the DMs is a very interesting place, a very interesting place. And I'm not like most e-girls. Like most e-girls are going to just block you, right? If you send them something and it's inappropriate or you cross the line, they're going to block you. They're going to roast you on the back channels, whatever. I'm different. One, I think it's funny. Okay. So depending on what you send me, chances are I'm absolutely cracking up at whatever you've sent. And sometimes it's real. Sometimes it's like AI content that somebody makes. Sometimes it's like all over the place. But I don't block these people. Like, and I don't know if there's something wrong with me that I'm just like, if you want to send me that, you can send me that. Like I think it's great that you feel comfortable enough to send it to me. It's a judgment-free zone. It's a judgment-free zone. I'm not going to block you. Depending on what it is, though, I think I've told people, like, if it's a D-pic, I show my mom. So she's like Roz Fokker from Meet the Fockers. So she just like admires the male anatomy, and so if I get one of those, then it's just a rule. Like I'm gonna show my mom. So you can send it to me if you want, but mom's gonna see. Mom's gonna see. So just know if I see it, my mom's gonna see it. Yeah. No, Pole Man, they do. They really do. And people get really creative in the ways that they want to show it off. So I shouldn't talk about this too much. YouTube is going to really hate me, you guys. But they do. Oh my gosh, Mama Shadow said she's had a few. She's had a few. They're proud. They're proud, I don't know what it's like because I don't have one. So I wouldn't know what it's like to be that proud of something. No, I'm not going to double my upcoming traffic. I'm probably going to get shadow banned. Doing all the things that YouTube doesn't like. So it's the internet. It's the wild, wild west out there. And then you add crypto to it. So you have people who naturally are navigating this space in an anonymous form. Some of these people, like you're never going to meet them in real life, right? Maybe they live in another country. And then that adds another layer to it because there's one person in another country who sends me the wildest stuff, like the wildest stuff. And it is, I sent it to my group chat. My group chat wanted to see. So yesterday I sent it to the group chat. The group chat was a little shocked, but it was funny because it was AI generated. So it didn't even look real. It doesn't even look real. It looks kind of like a cartoon almost. But it's like, there's people who that's what they want. They want to hang out and just generate these images like that and send them to people and, whatever. What's the saying? Different strokes, right? All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and get into the breaking news. Oh, I can't stop laughing. Oh, see what you guys do to me. All right, we've got some interviews here. I noticed earlier I can't stop laughing. Oh my gosh. Yes, I did. I brought it on myself, Po Man. I'm sorry. Earlier today, everyone on Twitter was streaming the same exact conference. So rather than show you guys what everyone else was watching and streaming earlier today, I found a couple of one-on-one interviews that were just posted earlier today. One is a one-on-one with the CFTC's Michael Seelig talking about the Clarity Act, and he's giving us a little bit of an inside view of what's going on with Clarity and where it currently stands. So we'll go ahead and listen to this before I really get myself in trouble with YouTube.
I'm Tyler Kendall here at the CFTC, where I'm joined now by the agency's chair, Michael Seelig. Mr. Chairman, it's nice to see you as always. I saw you yesterday at the White House for this event alongside President Trump, where he was really pushing for passage of the Clarity Act. Let's just get a lay of the land first. Senate's going to vote on this September 15th. How confident are you and the administration it's going to get over the finish line?
We're very optimistic that we're going to get clear rules of the road for crypto asset market structure on the books, and this vote is critical. We've got to get the Democrats to come along with us. They have really obstructed. We want their support. This should be bipartisan. The bill passed the House in a bipartisan fashion. We've got this bill in the Senate. It's very similar. We want to get it across the line. It needs to be a fair bill, a bill that isn't targeting the president or anybody else. It should be neutral and apply to everybody in the same way. We're really excited to get this bill across the line. CFTC stands ready to implement upon the passage of the bill.
Just to quickly follow up on that, was there any discussion yesterday about any updated ethics provisions related to the bill?
Well, the ethics provision is under negotiation. We're looking forward to seeing a fair ethics provision that's not targeting the president or anybody else, as I said.
So Trump is finding a way around the ethics provision that was going to previously exclude him, which I thought was really interesting.
If Clarity stalls or fails to pass, the CFTC has signaled that it's prepared to unilaterally dial up oversight. What would that look like? What sort of rulemaking are you prepared to take in that scenario?
The CFTC has a lot of authority, and we're not afraid to use that authority. The president has promised market structure for the crypto industry, and that's what we're going to do, whether we have a bill or not. But we're optimistic the bill is going to set the standard. We really want the United States to lead, and having legislation, clear law on the books is the most surefire way to lock in crypto market structure. And so that's what we're focused on today.
But for my clarity, if Clarity doesn't pass, you're still going to pursue regulation related to this?
Well, absolutely. It's really important that we have market structure. We can do that through rules. We can do that through laws. The CFTC has a lot of authority under its existing statutes, as do other agencies. And if we have to utilize that authority to create rules without the supporting legislation, we'll do it. But of course, legislation is the priority. That's what we want to see. America needs clear rules on the books. We'll use rules if we have to, but we're going to focus on the law today.
Right, because...
Okay, so he just said it. If Clarity doesn't pass, which they are still continuing to push Clarity. Clarity is still their ultimate goal. But if Clarity fails, which it sounds like the September 15th is the deadline, then they are prepared with their backup rules. So let's continue.
In theory, or not in theory, in reality, the Clarity Act is there to codify this into law. So I'm just wondering how you're thinking about the future here to ensure that if there's a Democratic CFTC under a different administration, it wouldn't unwind all the work that you'd be doing.
We're, of course, going to look to the bipartisan efforts on the Hill no matter what. If we have legislation, we'll implement that legislation. If we don't have legislation, we'll, of course, utilize that existing work that's been developed on the Hill and utilize our existing authorities and do what we can to set rules of the road for crypto. But the bill is really the priority. The bill has to get passed.
Last question on this, just to try to get a little bit more information. Is there a timeline that you're looking at where you would act? Are you already preparing any of this action, or does it have to happen once we see ultimately the fate of that bill?
I've asked the staff to explore and evaluate potential rulemakings utilizing our existing authority, but we're focused on the bill today. Until we get that across the line, until we have an answer on where the bill is going, we're not going to propose any new rules.
Okay, fair enough. I have to ask you about the other side of this remit as well, of course, prediction markets. This might be the first election where the public at large seems hyper aware of prediction markets. How are you thinking about policing against insider trading when it comes to political event contracts? And in particular, should we expect the CFTC to release any specific guidance ahead of the midterms?
Absolutely. We're utilizing all of our authorities to police these markets. They are derivatives markets within our exclusive jurisdiction. We take that responsibility very seriously. There's two things that we're looking for. One is insider trading, as you mentioned. The other is just fraud and manipulation. We saw a number of cases, some of them have become public, others we're still investigating, where there's just fraud, right? Somebody makes a statement and then takes a position on the other side. That, of course, is not legal within our framework, but there's also insider trading where people are misappropriating non-public material information that they obtain, whether it's from their employer, from their client, whatever, right? They take that information and they trade on it. That's insider trading. It's no different if it's a security, a commodities contract, or an event contract. And so we take that responsibility very seriously.
But any firm guidance from your agency ahead of Election Day?
We've put out a number of...
I still wonder, okay, with the prediction markets and the oversight, how are they going to actually regulate insider trading on prediction markets? Like, so let's break it down. We know prediction markets are event contracts. They can be tied to sporting events or political outcomes, things like that. So let's just say something like the Maduro capture had insider trading. That one was an egregious trade where it became very obvious. But when if it's not something that is so egregious, such as that this trade took place, and I think that they've determined that some of the trades that are insider traders, they've noticed they'll place one or two trades, they'll be on the right side of that trade, but then they'll make one trade that makes a substantial amount of money, and then they never trade again. But how else, like, there's got to be a way for them to be able to track insider trading, and I just don't know if that's possible. If you have enough trades being executed on an event contract, how are you going to know which one is the insider trader? So anyway, let's continue on.
Advisories and reports and that sort of thing. We've settled a handful of actions. We'll continue to do so. In terms of our enforcement advisories, we believe that the rules are very clear, our statute's very clear. There isn't really any needed guidance necessarily on insider trading or manipulation. We may put out further advisories, but we're focused on building the policy side, the rulemaking, and then policing these through actual investigations and bringing actions against bad actors.
Just as you did bring up investigations very quickly, can I ask you, related to news of the day, the markets are watching any sort of update when it comes to the conflict in Iran. Can you give us any update on your investigation into those suspiciously timed trades linked to the war?
I can't talk to any investigations. I appreciate the effort there, but no, can't speak to that.
All right, let's think broadly about legal strategy and the CFTC. We saw this federal judge the other week rule against you in Wisconsin when it comes to sport events contracts, letting state regulators move forward in terms of classifying them as gambling. Can you just talk to me a little bit more about your strategy and how the agency plans to sustain this exclusive jurisdictional argument if you keep getting these mixed rulings from the lower courts?
We haven't lost in a single federal appellate court. We don't intend to. If we do, that's going to create a split, and we'll see it at the Supreme Court. That's our focus. We want this to be clear, codified law in the books, and we'll take it all the way up to the Supreme Court.
Okay. They're not wanting the states to split on what the national regulatory agency is and what their regulations are. So that makes sense. So then if you were in the gaming industry in like Nevada, then... Oh my God, Blackout. Oh, man. We're never going to get through this show. Oh, my goodness, you guys. Oh, it's true. It's true. All right, how much more do we got of this? If I was in Nevada gaming industry, I would be looking at pivoting to events contracts because then you could at least compete on a national scale. Why couldn't you be MGM Grand events contracts? Why can't MGM Grand pivot to prediction markets? Can't they hire some developer and figure out how to get in on this events contracts game? Maybe it shouldn't be Nevada Gaming fighting against prediction markets, which I think ultimately is kind of what it is. You've got these different state levels who are fighting, and probably because gaming industry is in certain political positions pockets. But anyway, I digress. Prediction markets is a huge topic, which is really strange to me because when we started all of this back in 2024, prediction markets didn't even exist. So let's go ahead and continue.
If it goes to the Supreme Court, though, and the judge rules that sport contracts are gambling, how will that impact the CFTC and these companies?
To the extent the Supreme Court were to rule against us, of course, we'll follow the law.
All right. I wanted to ask you about the agency's June 2026 proposed rule, which does put some of these guardrails in place. Do you think that you'll be able to finalize this before the end of the year? And with everything that is going on in this market right now, what is most important to you in terms of anti-manipulation and also consumer protections in terms of really getting it on the books?
We're making fantastic progress in finalizing these rules. We received a lot of really substantive and helpful comments, both through the advance notice of proposed rulemaking and the newer Rule 40.11 rulemaking proposal. And we're hoping to finalize that very soon. We're also moving forward with, we've proposed some rules on record keeping and reporting. We're hoping to finalize that, and we'll have some new rules proposed very soon.
I'm wondering what lessons you've learned when it comes to some of the more convoluted geopolitical contracts. There was a lot of talk at the beginning of the conflict related to the Ayatollah, for example. What lessons have you learned more broadly this year that you're applying going forward?
Well, when I came into the seat, Pandora's box was sort of opened, right? There were all of these novel instruments and contracts trading in our markets. You mentioned the Ayatollah contract. We've had all sorts of interesting contracts, both within our U.S. markets and offshore. So I've evaluated these contracts, and we've began to provide guidance, implement rules, and address some of these edge cases. A lot of these contracts, to the extent they involve war, terrorism, assassination, gaming, will be subject to the special rule. That means we get a special evaluation of these contracts, and they have to be able to be traded, in a way that supports the public interest. And so we're going to evaluate that. We've put out some standards and rules as to what the public interest factor should be, how we should evaluate that, because the commission is not the public, right? We're not the ones deciding what's in the public's interest. We need to put that out for notice and comment, and so that's exactly what we've done, and we're hoping to set standards around that. For all the contracts that do not involve war, terrorism, assassination, gaming, illegal acts, and therefore are subject to this special rule, we have to consider just whether they're readily susceptible to manipulation. We don't have special authority to, say, throw out a cultural event contract or something else that's not really subject to these more severe rules under our statute.
That's really interesting. So besides the chat talking about different sizes, I don't know if that's the amount of rain this tornado is bringing or what, but I don't know. Some people prefer a torrential downpour and some people prefer a light sprinkling, like I said, different strokes. So it just depends. So I find it interesting that there is going to be special oversight on the insider trading, potential of insider trading of government contracts. Will there be setups? Are they going to set up people to potentially insider trade and catch them, leaking information? I mean, this is really national security on a whole nother level, which is kind of crazy to me. So it had me thinking, since they are so dead set on the Clarity Act passing and trying to get the Clarity Act oh my gosh, you guys, Black Hat Team is on a freaking tear today. Oh my gosh, no Dollar Tree incident. None of that. Let's go ahead and take a look at the Clarity Act. Clarity Act currently has a 26% chance of being signed into law. Oh my God, you guys. I can't even look at the chat. Because it's like, even if I don't read the words, there's the emojis. Oh, you guys are fantastic. It's fun. Do you normally have this much fun on a crypto channel? I mean, I don't, but yes, I hope I don't end up getting YouTube spanking for, and being put in timeout, because all right, let's hear from our good friend Vlad Tarnev, CEO of Robinhood. I just want to take a minute to talk about how far this guy has come from the moment we first saw him, and it nearly destroyed his reputation because people had an image of Robinhood brand in their mind, of this superior, easy onboarding app that makes it so easy a 2-year-old could buy and sell stocks. Okay? It was like just red or green, buy or sell, up or down. We don't need RSI. We don't need Bollinger Bands. We don't need any of that. Candlestick, what? No. Number go up or number go down. You buy, you sell, or get out. Okay, that was Robinhood. And now here he is at the White House at this summit, helping to onboard the masses into crypto. And more importantly, talking about prediction markets. So let's hear from Vlad, because in 2021, when he first came out, like, people were like, really? This long hair hippie dude? This is the guy that runs Robinhood? Is my money safe? Anyway, let's hear from Vlad.
The president, I think it was very, very clear that the president, Chair Selig, and Chair Atkins are in lockstep working for the benefit of the country and the American people. And it's just a huge...
Since we're talking about rain, and you guys know my mom, God, my mom's been watching this show too. I can't believe I'm going to say this. Well, I've already said she's kind of like Roz Fokker from Meet the Fockers, and she likes the male gaze, admires it. She had a friend that worked at the DMV back in the day, and she had that woman order her a one of a kind slippery when wet sign. Yeah, it's my mom. All right, go Vlad, go.
Improvement in what we've been used to, because I think it's that everyone is just aligned and on the same page that America has to be the best place for investment, and we also have to lead the financial services industry. So we went into the Oval afterward, which was a lot of fun, and the president actually just asked us how the government could be working better, how we can be working more cohesively. He said, this is a room with a lot of smart people, so I'd love, your feedback. And I thought that was very nice too, because it just shows that, you know, he's taking feedback, and it's a good testament of the public sector, private sector collaboration that I think has been missing in this country for so long. So there's a lot of talk about, you know, what it would take for Clarity to get over the line. Some chatter about, you know, the timing being not ideal because maybe a lot of representatives are vacationing. But yeah, the hope was that, you know, we control what we can control. We can get some people who have maybe been sort of like reluctant to take a stance to get over the line, and hopefully execute the passage in September.
Well, to that point, can you give us any update or insight into if negotiations are happening? Because as you mentioned, right now the Senate's on recess. So if talks are happening, they're probably not happening here in Washington between the lawmakers, at least.
Yeah, I think that's a challenge. But you know, even if folks are on recess, there's always the possibility of 3 a.m. phone calls and things like that. And
are you conducting any of?
Ultimately, let's be real. Just because they're not at Washington, D.C., they're at home in their districts with their families. And there are political consultants whose full-time job is to hobnob with these elected politicians. So when they're at recess, they're at home. And at home means they're in their district where the political consultant is knocking on their door, calling them on their phone, taking them to lunch, whining and dining them, and trying to push the agenda of, now whether that is pro-crypto or anti-crypto depends on what side of the aisle that they sit on. Of course, it takes bipartisan support, but ultimately, we already know from Michael Seelig, we don't even need bipartisan support because the U.S. is like, hey, we're going to do this anyway.
Have you been talking to anybody in this process?
Yeah, we have been. You know, we've been engaging throughout, and of course, Patrick Witt, who's been doing a great job kind of spearheading this. Everyone has just been telling Patrick, you know, he's doing yeoman's work, just wrangling everyone together, and he's been incredibly motivated to get everything across the line. And we just said, hey,
I'm just reading your guys' comments. So somebody said that the tie screams vampire. And then someone else says, who names their kid Vlad? I'm like, this is funny. He clearly is of European descent, but no longer has the accent.
if you need more conversations, if there's anything we could do, we can, of course, we're working together as an industry for the benefit of ownership of this industry for the American people.
Can I ask you any specific members that you've been eyeing that maybe you think could get over the finish line, keeping in mind that Democrats have to get on board in order for this bill to pass?
Right.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know if I should call out specific members.
Call them out.
Yeah, I think there are some folks that have been more recalcitrant.
Why are you protecting people who are being unable to have any sort of agreements? They can't even, everybody wants this law. There's already the stablecoin bill that's been passed and signed into law. Why would you be so reluctant on this? That's kind of what I don't understand. Why protect the politicians who are making your job difficult in Washington, D.C. right now? Why? I don't understand why you're protecting them.
But I think we'll get them over the line.
At what point does regulatory uncertainty, whether it's on digital assets or prediction markets, become a hard ceiling on Robinhood's growth?
That's a good question. I don't think we're near that point, just because Robinhood is in so many businesses. You know, we've got our more traditional businesses, which include.
Okay, I don't know. I can't remember if there was something he said better along. Maybe if I go forward, let's skip forward.
Customers also want to know that they're protected, and that
I did not want to hear him
shift
shilling
every 4 or 8 years or so, and suddenly make what they're holding covered in a cloud of uncertainty. So I think it's going to be good to give it that durability. But I think in terms of Robinhood as a business, we're a resilient, diversified business, and we've gone through many cycles, starting with, the company began in the Obama era and went through Trump 1.
Okay. I remember what it was that he said. He said that because prediction markets have taken off with the younger generations the way that it has, he thinks that prediction markets are a good onboarding tool because the younger kids are more likely to, do sports betting and things like that. And so via the events contracts would be an onboarding tool for cryptocurrency, traditional stocks, IRA, etc. etc. All right. Let's go ahead and move on, you guys. We do have some articles to get into. As you can see, though, in Washington, D.C., although they are currently on a recess, there are closed door meetings taking place. They are trying so hard to push the Clarity Act and to get the Clarity Act passed. And ultimately, if the Clarity Act does not pass, they have set up and established a framework for how they're going to oversee what's going forward with the cryptocurrency industry. So, the pump in the market we are seeing is the crypto short liquidations, which have passed the 3 billion mark as Bitcoin has now surpassed the 72,000 mark. Right now, it's actually sitting at 72,599. So let's go ahead and dive into it. Bitcoin and altcoins are breaking records as short position and liquidations past 3 billion over 2 days. So the 2-day crypto short liquidations hit 3.1 billion, and this is data from CoinGlass showing that the ongoing crypto short liquidations for August 19th and 20th and Thursday's total tally was the largest single-day wipeout of shorts ever recorded. So on Wednesday, Bitcoin led the charge by reacting to the liquidity intervention by the U.S. Treasury with a spike in the highest level seen since the start of June. At the time of writing, the upside continues with the pair reaching a local high of just under 72,000. So we are looking bullish here, guys. I got the little 1 hour chart that I pulled up for you too. I'm like, that looks familiar. The reason I wanted to pull it up is because it was looking like it could potentially be a nice little cup and handle pattern. Will we go up and to the right? That's what everyone wants to know. Short squeeze. Yes, it's good times. It feels a little bullish, right? But yeah, if you're sidelined, I mean, right now is not the time. You don't want to go in and chase green candles. Chasing green candles is scary. But we are moving into Friday. Will we see a pump going into Friday? Who knows? I still think that irregardless, we're going to get some definition of clarity, and that's going to be bullish. U.S. debt tops $40 trillion is stoking debate on what it means for Bitcoin. Analysts say the 40 trillion debt milestone could bolster Bitcoin's long-term case, even as Treasury yields, dollar strength, and liquidity remains key near-term drivers. As the U.S. federal debt tops $40 trillion for the first time, there's renewed debate over whether the mounting government borrowing could strengthen Bitcoin's case as a scarce, non-sovereign asset. The interest costs have also climbed, surpassing Medicare and becoming the federal government's second largest budget expense behind Social Security in the first 10 months of the fiscal 2026 year. The debt milestone coincided with the Treasury move to calm a bond sell-off that pushed long-term yields to their highest level since 2007. Treasury Secretary Scott Bessent said that Wednesday at the department would double the buybacks of the 10 to 30-year debt to add at least $4 billion per operation, initially pushing the yield of the U.S. dollar as lower as Bitcoin and gold rallied. Bitcoin is continuing to surge, trading around 72,600 on Thursday morning, up roughly 6% over the last 24 hours and 15% over the past week. So, Treasury buybacks add another potential Bitcoin catalyst. So, in addition to the Clarity Act or lack of Clarity Act, while Bloomberg and other attributed elements of Bitcoin's rally to optimism over friendlier U.S. crypto policy, Donald Trump meeting with the industry executives at the White House on Wednesday, market analysts pointed to a Treasury and broader fiscal conditions as additional factors. So Trend Lab founder and chartered market technician J.C. Parents pointed that the Treasury move to increase purchases of the long-term government bonds, which said that the bond market participants viewed as an effort to push back against long-term rates. So it was, like we said yesterday, essentially just a refinance of the long-term debt. So they restructured it, kicked the can down the road. Everything is all good. So, moving into the next article, cybersecurity firm unveils crypto phishing campaign targeting 885,000 phone numbers. This is important to note. As we move into the bull market, I feel like it's always inevitable that the scams increase and the scams evolve every time. The scams are constantly evolving. So you have to kind of remain on top of what the latest scams are and just beware, because chances are you're going to encounter a scam at some point or another. So Rapid7 unveiled a new cryptocurrency phishing campaign targeting 885,000 phone numbers aimed at stealing investors' holding by redirecting them to fake wallet provider websites. Cybersecurity firm unveiled the new cryptocurrency phishing campaign known as Operation Asterix, targeting roughly 885,000 phone numbers from several countries to steal the crypto investors' assets. The phishing campaign led to 5,576 accounts matched users on crypto exchanges such as Binance, which were queued for attack, while the recovered logs showed fake emails impersonating crypto.com, according to a Monday report. So as of the 885 phone numbers, the largest file included 316,000 German phone numbers and additional directories covering Hong Kong, Bulgaria, the UK, the US, Canada FinTech, and companies of additional ledger-related lists. Phishing attacks are social engineered scams that drove the majority of the crypto industry's losses in the first quarter of the year, accounting for 306 million out of the total 482 million lost, according to the blockchain security company Hacken. So, as part of the Asterix phishing campaign, detailed as Rapid7 analyst Anna Storovoka and the attackers drove victims to a fake app impersonating Ledger, Trezor, Exodus, and seeking to steal their seed phrases. Attackers reached out to victims through fake support emails or phone inquiries. So, Cointelegraph has also contacted the analysts for further comment on what they found regarding the targeting filter, hardware wallet sponsoring, spoof, and self-custody vulnerabilities. We will update this article when they reply. So, scary stuff out there. You know, one of my friends, I need to follow up with her and just make sure, because it said somebody was trying to log into her email, and I think she locked down her account and she couldn't get into her crypto.com account, and she was kind of freaking out. And now I have to help her get back in. And, you know, it's just unfortunate, but you always have to be careful. And usually things that come to your email, come to your phone, those are almost always a scam. Almost always a scam. Best thing for you to do, rather than follow an email or follow a text message, is to just go log into the account yourself and check and make sure that your account funds are safe. So I know I need a Nightbot. I do need a Nightbot. You said Blocky left. Where is Blocky? Blocky, come back. Blocky, come back. So, well, I mean, I have been jabbering for like an hour. I do have another article to get into, though, guys. I do. I've been trying really hard to run my shows a little longer. I get more views on them if I can go past an hour, and it's not easy to talk for an hour, you guys. It is not. So crypto generated about 1% of Weeble's record 98 million in Q2 revenue. So I was actually surprised to read this. You guys, I used Weeble back in like 2020, 2021. I have not used, it's not an American company, so I pulled my money off of there. But while Webull reported a record 198 million in a second quarter revenue, cryptocurrency trading only generated about 2.25 million in the quarter's revenue stream. Well, duh, it's been a bear market and nobody's been wanting to trade crypto. Webull said Wednesday that cryptocurrency trading accounted for 2.25 million, a little over 1% of the platform's record nearly 200 million in revenue in the second quarter of 2026. Revenue for the period was up 51% year over year, according to the online brokerage and digital trading platform. That's an equity and options trading generated 112 million in the quarterly income, or about 56% of the 198 million. For the first time, probably in the last 9 months, I'm starting to see the clouds start to part in the crypto business. That is a very positive sign, Webull president said. So he added that the company was in the process of gradually rolling out crypto deposits and withdrawal capabilities. And ultimately, that is what took me off of Webull, is it wasn't a true digital wallet. If I was buying or selling my crypto, it was just a certificate of crypto. I couldn't take it. I didn't own the funds. Those were not my coins. Not your keys, not your coins. Those were not my coins. So, and it's not an American company. These are things I look at when I'm talking to, like, looking at companies I want to do business with. So, Jesse, get a Discord. I probably do need a Discord. I'm probably there now. I have my group chat on X, but then I have to like add people into it, and I get lazy adding people in, and then it would be better if I just had a Discord. So maybe I need to work on getting myself a Discord started. So online brokerage Robinhood, since we talked to our buddy Vlad Tarnev earlier, also posted a quarterly result on July 30th, but its crypto transaction revenue fell 38% to 100 million. So from about 160 a year earlier. So year over year, they lost 60 million transactions. I'm actually a little surprised that it was that low from year over year. So the platform's quarterly revenue came in slightly above Wall Street consensus of 194 million, according to the analyst compiled from Yahoo Finance, blah, 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 blah. Okay, good stuff. Guys, it's just bullish. That's what it is. It's just bullish. Bullish everywhere. Bullish everywhere. I saw you guys were baiting me, and I can't talk about that. Mike Wilmer, I can't talk about what I posted in my group chat. I can't. It's some weird, freaky stuff going on in my DMs, and YouTube will not let me talk about it. So, but I did take a screenshot of what was going on, and I sent it, and everybody was like, "Oh my gosh." So when I tell you the DMs is a scary place, I mean it. The DMs is a scary place. Do I block it? No. I let people's complete mental illness be on full display. You want to be mentally ill, you're creating AI generated, I don't know what, the what, with what? I just, now I know. Now I know. All right, you guys. Wow, we rallied it out for an hour and 8 minutes today. Woo! 8 is the number of money, by the way. 8 is the number of money. So, it's also a karmic number. Whatever you do to others will come back to you. So, and it has always been my favorite number. It's always been my favorite number. So, and I didn't know any of that because I didn't get into numerology and understand that until later. Oh, peace of my mind. That's the the show for today, you guys. If you're new here, smash a subscribe. Help me get to 1,600. I just cracked 1,530. So I need like 70 more of you to smash the subscribe button. Also getting incredibly close to my watch hour. So if you see me go live, just hit the watch button, get that watch hour, and help me get to my goal. I appreciate you all for tuning in, and I look forward to seeing you all on the next one. Bye-bye.